It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
You can ask me about anything you want, and I will forge ahead if possible.
And I know this is an emotional day, emotional weekend for you.
A big loss this weekend.
Hours removed from somebody else cutting away, as you so delicately put it, at your pecker. Which I
Please,
believe is...
have a little respect.
Oh,
thank you.
And Steve.
On YouTube Live or something? Facebook? Is it on Twitch? Where can I watch that?
does Fox have a streaming platform?
Fox streaming?
Fox Nation? Are they going to interrupt like Hannity to show
Right.
to show the big match?
Yes, Hannity's doing play-by-play.
That's right. Oh, he's from the studio.
And they're
obviously.
bringing Combs back
That's
to do color commentary.
Now, here they are, two guys who are living in style, Steve and Kyle.
Once again, R.I.P. Combs.
Yeah, what I had to cut from that clip, reminder, was a legitimate discussion about did we lose him?
That's one of the most common threads, I think, on this podcast, is bringing up somebody, discussing them at length,
Yes.
and then thrown in at the end. They still alive?
Yeah. It's kind of remarkable how little we know about well-known people if they're alive or dead.
Yeah.
But then once we find out, we really linger. Is this going to be one we hang on to?
Like a Sonny Bono?
A Sonny Bono or a Kenny Rogers?
Kenny Rogers.
Those are the big two, right?
Yeah.
In terms of our discussion about if they're still with us?
Yeah. I mean, we really do focus on the deceased quite a bit.
Yeah. We
surfer.
We should change this podcast. Boy, another offshoot here for the Lisbon Network. In memoriam. ... And we just talk about who's dead and who's alive.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, I don't know if you've been following the news. Enough dead people. We can make this last a while.
A lot of people croaking these days. A lot of people croaking.
I mean, there's enough and we don't. The good thing is we're not big, like celebrity people.
No.
So we need to find that niche between the C and the E list of people who have found the 5-galloner and punted it. And I think we load in memoriam ... with, again, we need an actual, we'll have to get a Foley artist and do an actual kicking the bucket sound effect. We need a couple of walls. This room would probably be perfect. Stand in the middle and almost like you're playing pool. Mm-hmm. We're going to want to punt the 5-galloner into one corner and have it bounce off of the second wall, and then the rattle as it comes to rest.
Sure.
And that's how I
like it.
That's how we start. So we start every episode with thank you for joining us on this week's In Memoriam. Today we're going to discuss the life and eventual death of Sonny Bono. And then you click whatever fancy button on the hot tracks over there.
Hold on, let's see. I've loaded up some sound effects just for this, so if you want to redo that intro.
Yes. Thank you for joining us on In Memoriam. Today we're going to celebrate the life and eventual death of Sonny Bono. But just imagine that's going to be our sound effect of the 5-gallon bucket being punted off 2 walls and coming to a rest.
Yeah.
And I think we've done enough planning. Mm-hmm. We take the rest from there.
So we just have a very loose outline of how these episodes are going to go. I like it.
Didn't we have
maybe in 2023?
Did we have an open discussion about who is that the one-armed drummer jerk? And if he was still with us, what was that idiot's name?
Oh, what the Def Leppard, right?
The one guy who was crawling after his arm after a car wreck and yelling to anybody, "Don't you know who I am?"
Yeah, don't you know who that arm belongs to?
Yeah, save it. It.
Oh, what the hell was his name?
Put it on ice.
Rick something?
That's my bass drum.
That's my
arm.
snare.
Rick Allen.
Rick Allen, that's right.
And is Rick still with us? Yeah, Rick's only...
Sure.
Rick's coming up on 60.
Oh, he's a young buck.
Yeah. So we can't do him, but we need I think this is probably, of all of them, our best idea. And we've had a billboard crowdfunded for us.
Arguably, we've had the most ideas. The most bad ideas, I should say, of any.
I don't think we need to specify. I don't think we need to get more specific about the type of ideas we've had. I just think by saying, and boy, that would be great merch. Steve and Kyle podcast. They've had the most ideas.
Yeah. Number one for ideas.
I'll put that on the poll.
Are we number one for ideas?
Have we had the most ideas? Are we number one for ideas? And are we number one for the most bad ideas?
Yeah. Yeah, I think those are all very appropriate for this podcast.
Well,
we got a big day. Huge day here.
Yes.
We got a stack of mail that has been driving me nuts for the last 4 days.
There's mail. I
kind of want to get to it.
I have 1 million questions for you about your weekend.
Okay.
What do we want to... I still have, and I don't want to get overly removed from it. I had an idea 2 weeks ago that I've been trying to keep fresh in my brain so I don't forget it, that I even put on the sheet so I didn't forget to eventually talk about it.
Okay.
Because I think you and I, again, throw this in the catalog, another idea. So on the wheel,
right?
Which do you want to go with first?
Well, one thing that we haven't even mentioned that I want to get to right off the bat, 6.5 minutes in. By this point, you should have received a message back from us if you are participating in the 7th annual Steve and Kyle podcast Cloak and Dagger non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange. You should have gotten a message back with the person you've been paired up with.
Yes.
Remember, the person that you have been assigned to send a gift to, that's not the one that's going to be sending you a gift.
Correct.
You're going to be getting a gift from another random person. Whether they choose to identify themselves or not is completely up to them. So if you haven't gotten your gift sent out in the mail yet, please try to do that ASAP so that way they have it before the solstice season is upon us. And as always, we love seeing the gifts. We love seeing your haul of #garbage merch or #garbage gifts. And if you want to post them on social media, tag us at Steve and Kyle.
Yes.
So that way we can see all of the stuff that's coming in. I saw a few pop up in the last couple of days. Some people were really...
Yeah, I hope I don't miss any. I've only seen 2, and one was in our private messages, so I'm assuming that was the choice. I'm not going to post those. If you're messaging us specifically, that's fine. I'm assuming you don't want it posted. I understand that. Someone received a slide whistle.
I saw that. I love it. I love that that's a podcast reference.
That's right. And then somebody else has sent us, and this was in the DM, so I'm not going to say who it was, but a package of West Michigan and Michigan items.
Oh, okay.
Delivered to them.
Like what?
Some Detroit coffee, some of those garbage
Detroit is not
windmill.
West Michigan, so that's
one of those garbage windmill coffee or cookies.
Oh, the Steenstra?
Steenstra? Oh.
Yeah, in the orange box.
And for some reason, the picture won't open big enough. Something from Cherry Republic, something, and then it looks like a mug or a cup from somewhere local.
You don't like the Steenstra?
No.
Really? They're perfect dipped in something, like in a cup of coffee?
Comfortable saying if you need to dip the cookie in something, it's not a good cookie.
Agree. I mean, it's not... Like it doesn't blow me away. It's not an amazing cookie. For those not familiar, it's like
it's in the shape of a windmill.
Yeah,
that's
it's
all.
A gingerbread.
Is that what it's described? Or is it because I always assume that
it's like
there's some nut in there. By the way, right?
Is there?
And you know my stance there.
Yeah, I know you're anti-nut.
Keep it away from me in any way, shape, or form.
Right. Windmill cookies. So they are. Dutch windmill cookies, brown sugar, cinnamon sugar, ginger, egg, flour. Yeah, so it's kind of like a spiced cookie almost.
Yeah, I would eat them, but that's also part of my inability to say no to cookies.
Cookies, yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're not. I'm not lining up and punching people in the face at 3 in the morning when the store's open to get them at a good discount.
It's the almonds.
But if they're there and I have a cup of coffee or something, I'm taking them and dipping them, breaks them down just a little bit. See that soft texture. Oh, delightful. Delightful.
It's the almond. There's sliced almonds in there.
Yeah.
And that is, as I've made very clear, and as our friend Zach Ruddick has so emblazoned on legitimate merchandise, keep your nuts away from my pretzels. Or keep your nuts away from my candy. And candy, I think, cookies qualify.
Yeah.
Just keep them
Oh
away.
boy, is a cookie? I think I'm going to disagree with you there.
Really?
Cookies are in a league of their own. Candy.
Well, I think you're right.
I mean, if you go out trick or treating on Halloween and somebody gives you cookies,
right?
That's not a common thing. That means that cookies are absolutely. You take that back.
Counterpoint. Hear me out. The things that make a cookie are also in candy, right?
Sure, yeah, but I mean,
so we're just but because of the packaging, we're not okay with that.
But I mean, that would mean that by that logic, cake is a candy.
No, that again, a valid argument.
I mean, you got sugar, you got flour, maybe some nuts or other sweets.
Keep it away. Are we willing to make a pyramid, a flow chart then? Because what is the umbrella that emblazons all of that? Is it just sweets?
Sweets, yeah.
So we go sweets.
Confectionery delight.
Okay. Which is, again, emblazoned on the Lucky Billy bar.
Yeah.
The Steve and Kyle Confectionery Co-op. So we're going sweets, and from there on it's branching off, right?
Sure. Then you have candy, cookies, cakes.
So you're not even giving subheadings to that. You're going directly into candy, cookie, cakes? Are we going baked sweets? And
look,
packaged
this is
sweets?
We're workshopping this on the fly.
Yeah.
This is all open for discussion.
We've done this before. I mean, listen, you and I made, live on this podcast, the hot take thermometer that is now known worlds around.
Of 90s babes.
90s. Yeah, and if I remember right, second from the top was Neil Patrick Harris, Doogie Howser era.
Right. But number one or highest on the list was Pam Anderson, Baywatch.
I think 96 Pam Anderson. It was very specific.
Okay. Was like Tiffany Amber Thiessen on there?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen was on there. Oh boy, I would have to find the image. It's somewhere.
Did someone actually make an image?
There's an image with character photos of the hot take thermometer. And I am now very upset that I can't find it, because that is our greatest thing we've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna. It's gonna bug me now if I don't find it. But,
yeah.
Oh well, it's lost to the ether.
Yeah.
Because we have done way too much over the years on this that we then wipe our hands of. Move along.
Immediately forget.
Forget it immediately that we had even considered it.
Do you want to get to the elephant in the room right here? The massive, massive pile of packages on the end of the counter?
Let's hit it, Steve.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Number 3, there it is. All right, we have looks like 2 envelopes, 2 packages. I am excited about this.
I am now finding a little more detail on our hot take thermometer. We unveiled it on September 3rd, 2019.
Oh wow! So
and I believe it was
just missed the 3-year anniversary. Yeah, apologies.
I'm now seeing this for what feels like the first time. It definitely had Mona Lisa on the bottom.
Of course it did. Okay.
In 1999 era, Pam Anderson. But those are the only 2 listed in the show description from that week.
Okay.
I wish I had that image.
Somebody probably emailed it to us or messaged it to us.
Yeah,
on
I'm going to try.
We need to find that and we would have reposted that, right?
I didn't see it. When I just Twitter searched for our handle and the word thermometer, I did not see it.
Okay.
But I am also not a very good Twitter searcher.
Yeah.
Okay. This is, Steve, it's that time of the month. And you know that sound better than anybody.
It's got to be money time.
It's Money Day from our friends, the Bill Payment Processing Center down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Sioux Falls.
Every month they come through. Should
we add them to our Christmas card list this year? The bill payment processing. I bet they don't get many they don't get many Christmas cards.
No,
there.
and you know what? That's a shame.
We should send.
We should send a Christmas card to them.
Thanks, everybody.
And say we
appreciate the work you're doing. You're doing the Lord's work.
For every month, you guys making sure that mail gets out. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Because they'd put it in the break room, right? Maybe we send them a tray of cookies or something.
Right? We could. I think we should. I think we
Some
should
homemade
look into
cookies?
sending them
Like a little Tupperware thing of homemade cookies.
like a little ribbon wrapped around it. Say thanks for
Thanks
for
for all
making
you do.
sure the $6.50 checks keep on coming.
I mean,
And
I guess
boy, do they.
it might be insulting to Billy Stacks, who sends that check every month. That
Then we're not going to send him a gift?
Instead of sending him the card and the cookies, in lieu of that, we're sending it to the people who simply process it.
Well, I got to tell you, the name at the top says Billy Stacks, but who's doing the actual work?
Bill payment processing.
You're darn right, our friends, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Okay, oh boy. Have you learned nothing in this last year?
Well, I think I mean, look at that first corner. That thing is
It's
fresh.
good, but you're
I'm lifting up.
lifting up. Yeah, you have to,
and you just got to continue.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that
just
might
got
be
to.
that. You're not.
I didn't get all the way, but I'm just going to sneak the check out. No. I don't want to ruin a good thing.
This must be from our friend Trevor.
Steve, from our friend Trevor in Burns/Dixon. Mm-hmm. Definitely not Nashville.
No.
Via our friends at the U.S. Bank National Association.
Some would say the poor man's bill payment processing center.
It doesn't seem as official
No.
as the Bill Payment Processing Center with the perforated.
Garbage.
If you could up your game, Trevor.
Yeah. See if you can.
Let's add $9.99 to the coffers. Money day.
So that brings us to $16.49.
$15.99. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's $6.50. You're right. Yes.
$16.49.
$16.49.
Well, we had a good run of that 1 month where we were in the black.
We were?
1 month.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I remember
had-
the 1 month
we
that
had
we
1
may
month-
have been
yeah,
in black
one-
being wiped away by $300 worth of parade stuff.
But I mean, for that 1 month, for that one day at least, we were in the black. All right.
Damn.
I'm excited about these.
a
because
couple of packages.
These, I gotta open at least one of them.
Yeah, take it away.
Okay.
This is looks like it's probably from Amazon because
Yeah.
it says Amazon on the package.
I would, I think
and
that's
it's
a
sealed.
good assessment. From Sweet Sum in Pontiac, Michigan.
And the feeling of that bag and the name of that company, Steve, I think I know what we're getting here today. I can only hope it's enough Chuck E. Cheese to replenish what we've eaten.
Well, it's addressed to SK.
Hey, that's both of us.
It is. You're not correct,
Okay.
but you're going to be delighted.
Oh, that's good news.
Because in this bag is a bag.
Oh, our favorite,
The
Steve.
dark chocolate.
Look at that.
Dark chocolate Kit Kats. Oh, we got some messages in here, too.
These are our favorites.
Kit Kat miniature crisp wafers. Merry 7th annual Steve and Kyle podcast Cloak and Dagger non-denominational winter solstice gift exchange from our friend Chris Pruitt.
Wow,
Chris, you're a man.
saint.
You're a man doing the Lord's work.
A saint, Steve. Should we properly kick off our solstice then? Our solstice gifts
Yeah, absolutely.
with a dark chocolate Kit Kat.
Cheers. All right.
These are among our favorite candies. I think we could both agree.
These are.
I appreciate this size too, because then I can eat so many more and not feel.
You were saying?
Boy, that was a big one. Takes a little extra at the end to get through that dark chocolate, you know.
Yeah, it's the crackle.
Our thank you to our dear friend Chris Pruitt
Thank you, Chris. Again, just a man amongst men doing the Lord's work.
Another piece of mail.
What we got there?
Steve, this is from our friends at Crazy Dog T-Shirts.
Crazy Dog T-shirts.
Hamburg, Pennsylvania. You think that's how they pronounce it there?
Probably not.
Straight out of Germany, right?
Yeah.
Where they would, again, you were a
European
citizen for many months.
Many, many months.
Taken many trips over there since then.
Yeah. I've just been there and back.
You call it Hamburg? Hamburg? Is the H silent?
Hamburg. Yes. Is it? Yeah.
I'm asking the resident. Is it closer to humbug, or are we getting rid of the H?
I'm embarrassed that I don't know the answer to this. This is Crazy Dog T-shirts.
Crazy Dog T-shirts in Hamburg, PA. Open the gift receipt. Happy solstice. May seasonal Sammy fulfill all your holiday demands.
Demands.
From our friend Andrew Junk.
Oh.
Steve, why don't you take that? Why don't you open that up for me? Take a look at what that is.
Okay.
It's a T-shirt in a package. I'd be curious what it is.
Oh, I feel like this might be specifically for you.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah.
Sorry, Toby.
There's only one in there?
There's one. We are disturbing your dog with all of the rattling, by the way.
Oh, I like this. Yeah, this is definitely for you.
Is it?
It says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Okay.
Except sharks. Sharks will kill you.
Listen, I know that's for me because you've been a shark denier.
I'm a shark fan.
For the better part.
I am pro-shark.
That is a lovely idea. Thank you, Andrew, because I have to tell you, the world needs to know what's going on. And you know what season it is, Steve?
Is it Shark Attack
It's
season?
Shark Attack season. No question.
Well, remember a couple of years ago we talked about that shark that started out in Australia and swam, I think we calculated, about 400 miles per hour.
Jet stream.
Through the shark stream for like 5 straight days until it was spotted once again in Florida.
Yeah, Jupiter, Florida. You'll never believe it. These things have vortexes that they're now jumping through so they can attack people on multiple coasts.
Right, the shark stream, as we call it.
There's actually only like 50 sharks in the world. But they're using this jump system.
They're just everywhere. The jump system. It's like a portal.
Just 2 days ago, Steve, a woman's disappeared after her and her husband were fighting off a shark. Where, you ask? Maui. Okay?
You know,
thinking about enjoying that Hawaiian vacation?
First of
Think
all,
again.
Disappearance, no.
No, she's missing. Like she
she
in the water.
She was
in the water.
She's been consumed by a shark.
Right.
There's
nothing to find unless
mystery solved.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Disappearance means they're not really sure, but she was last seen fighting off a shark.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to assume the shark got her.
Yeah, fighting off is very generous.
Oh yeah, nobody fights off.
It doesn't seem like it was much of a fight. Like I don't think Billy the shark went back to his shark friends.
It was like,
said, "Boy, I had one there, guys.
Give me a run for my money."
Like, I'm not going to be able to go out to the club because I got a black eye. I'm going to have to put the shark club on hold because Linda the snorkeler really gave it to me. Just 4 days ago, a large shark bit a Texas surfer.
Well, look, you're in their dojo.
Yeah, and that's why, I've said it for a long. Just don't. Just don't. Just stay out. The ocean is not worth it. It's the proverbial juice not being worth the squeeze to go in the water. In general, the only water you should be going into, your bathtub, a pool. The rest, leave it to the animals that, live there. Right. Would we like them coming to us, Steve? Would you like a shark walking up to your porch? Huh? With stupid goggles on? And a tank of water? Their version of snorkeling? And waving at you? What would you do if a shark walked up to your porch today with goggles and a tank of water on his mouth?
And waved to me.
No, I mean, you'd be scared, right? I mean, a walking shark is now on your porch.
I'm not really sure where you're going with this.
I'm just saying, let's leave their home alone. Okay? They leave ours alone. Have you seen them try to come your way?
What are we, hey, look at that.
Oh, good. Well, at least it didn't happen just once.
Well, it looks like Walgreens is calling to tell me my prescription is
Oh,
ready.
good.
I'm actually glad they did, because they called on Thursday to tell me the same thing.
Oh.
Yips.
Keeping you abreast of the situation then.
Kind of forgot about that.
Okay, so we have on the wheel today the things that we had listed. 2 more things that we wanted to get to. One was I have 2 big ideas. Do we want to get to those, or should we get to the more timely thing, which is you had the big holiday get together at the Tex-Mex joint.
The big extravaganza.
That's right.
Yeah.
You and the work crew trying to get rowdy while a family of 6 was just trying to get the BOGO burritos across the accordion wall from you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a blast, man. We had such a good time.
Okay.
This is our first night out since Baby Bull and Wall has been born, pretty much. And had so much fun. So we show up, and I had sent you a picture on Friday.
Yeah.
And said, I don't think I can do this. And it was the best picture I could get of me dressed head to toe as Seasonal Sammy. Mm-hmm. I had the trapper hat on. I had... Oh, you know something? I shouldn't reveal everything that I...
Yeah,
that I had.
you were in full regalia.
Yeah, full regalia, and I just couldn't do it. It was... I walked around the house wearing that getup for about 20 minutes, and then I went upstairs and I said to Annette, I can't do this. I got to scale it back. Well,
Absolute scumbag.
Well, look, I don't want to take the... I don't want to take all the pizzazz away from our buddy Seasonal Sammy. I mean, he's got a big day coming up in about 6 months.
Well, actually, I mean,
it's the official kickoff of the holiday season.
His big day,
yeah,
is in just 11 days from now. Mm-hmm. The winter solstice.
Yeah,
that's when, before Santa, Seasonal Sammy is out patrolling the skies.
Yeah,
on the shortest night of the year. He's not out there long.
Yeah,
shortest day of the year. He's out there handing out hot chocolate to all the good boys and girls.
Mm-hmm. Chopping wood.
Mm-hmm. Getting ready for a long slumber.
He's got his shovel. Mm-hmm. So, so I wore part of the Seasonal Sammy attire. It was a very big hit. Very, very big hit. If you saw any of my Instagram story from the other night, you will see. Okay. That's insulting.
Did we follow it on social media? You dumb dick.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
I
didn't even know you had a holiday thing unless you told me.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it, so you definitely knew.
I was sitting there waiting. I was told a text message would be coming.
No, you knew where we were and where we would be going.
It turns out the place you went to, you told me you did not go to.
Well, the original place we did. The Tex-Mex joint we went to, and then the plan changed for karaoke.
Right, it changed from Reformed Pizza Hut.
It did to bar, which was a little bit closer to the downtown area. So that was not my idea to change it up. I was a little disappointed because I like the traditional aspect of the Yoki joint that we used to go to.
Holiday traditionalist Steve.
Holiday traditionalist.
There's one thing I know about you. It's that you are a guy who appreciates the tradition.
Yeah. So we showed up, and this Yoki joint was a little more sophisticated than the past. You could just scan the QR code on the table, and it would pull up their whole library instead of being handed a binder.
Yeah, and having to go pop a CD in.
Exactly. So we're going through, and me and my work buddy Trevor, he's my Springsteen kindred spirit at work. Mm-hmm. He's somebody who appreciates everything boss related, and I appreciate him for that. So I'm going through the songs, and they have the traditional Glory Days, Thunder Road,
the big one,
Rosalita, But they also have these. They have some deeper cuts on there. Plus, they have a lot of newer stuff, which is surprising. So, our buddy Chris was adamant about singing "Murder Incorporated," which good song, but no one is going to know that song at karaoke. No. So at karaoke, you're walking that fine line between you want to put on a good performance, but you also want it to be something that everybody knows.
Yeah, nobody wants the self-indulgent jerk.
Yeah, if I go up there and sing "The Rising" from Springsteen, no one's going to know it.
Well, I would be in shambles in the corner, just weeping like a baby.
Yeah.
But the rest of the bar is going to be irritated with you.
Great song, but nobody wants to hear it at karaoke.
Nobody.
So I'm scrolling. I'm like, man, I don't want to just do Thunder Road again, even though I love Thunder Road. I don't want to do Rosalita, even though I love Rosalita.
So you've done, because you're saying you've done all these.
Done them all. My fans know them well.
How many times in your life, because you're in your early 30s,
yeah,
would you say or guess you've done karaoke? And I'm not talking about experiences. So say you've gone out 10 times, but you've done 5 songs. How many songs have you sung at karaoke over the years?
30, maybe.
Can you hearken back at all in your mind to the first time you did karaoke? And can you walk us through that? Were you nervous?
I remember.
What song did you pick? Do you remember the words?
I do. I remember it very well. It was when we were in college. It was probably sophomore year in college, and a bunch of us were like, "Wow, we should go do karaoke." And we knew that there was this bar because none of us were 21 yet, so we knew that there was this bar, and it was the bar that anybody could get served in, and they had karaoke night on whatever night. So we went there, and we walked in, and what I know now with hindsight is that this wasn't, hey, come on up and sing a goofy song karaoke joint. This was the place where people go and they take it pretty seriously.
Right, so they're getting their reps in.
They're going there and they're singing the Garth Brooks deep cut.
So they're not going for Friends in Low Places, which is what 98%. If you were to go through the Garth Brooks catalog at karaoke, 98% of people are picking Friends in Low Places.
Yeah.
One woman who just got broken up with is picking like The River.
Yeah.
And this person's saying, no, I'm going deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you went there.
We went there, but again, we were 19, 20 years old. We had no idea what we were doing. We were just like, oh my God, we're going to get beer. We can go up and sing a song. So I knew that there was a problem when it was me and Frank and our friend Ray, of course, from Ray Connections, and a few other people. And Frank had signed us up. You know, it's a bad sign when they announce the next person coming to the stage and you see like 8 people go up because you know that it's just going to be a bunch of people yelling. Yes. And that's what it was. And Frank grabbed the mic and he said, "Who's ready for some 80s hair metal?" And it was crickets. And then we did Come On Feel the Noise by Quiet Riot.
That's a good song choice.
Of course, it was just us being drunk and screaming. And everybody hated it. And I had so much fun doing it. But it was miserable for everybody else. For everyone else there.
But I feel like you, at that song at any other regular Yoki bar, you're probably getting the normal reaction compared to super serious. Hey, I've got to get ready for our, my band's gig at the bowling alley next week. So I need to freshen up on whatever Oasis did. Right?
Yeah, I think you can get a good reaction from that song if it's one person and you sing it well. But it wasn't. It was 8 and we sung it poorly. But
you didn't have nerves because you're with a big group? Or were you still generally like, oh boy, I prefer not to do this?
No, then it was fine. But yeah, if it's just you and one other person or just you by yourself, sure, you got some nerves.
Okay.
But, so again, back to this Friday night, I'm scrolling through my phone looking at the songs that they offer, and then it jumps out at me. They have Santa Claus is Coming to Town in the style of Bruce Springsteen.
Which is, I would argue, there's 2 definitive versions of that song. It's the Bruce Springsteen version, and it's the Jackson 5 version.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are the only two versions I ever need to hear again.
That's 1 and 1A.
Right.
So we'd only been there about 5 minutes or so, and whoa,
jeez,
was that you?
Apparently.
Okay.
I'm just on our Twitter and a video auto plays, so I'm not even scrolling.
So again, we're 5 minutes in the door. I haven't even taken off my coat yet at this point, and Trevor had already signed us up for it. I didn't even have a drink yet. I mean, I had.
So you're already on the queue.
I had many drinks at the Tex-Mex place.
Okay.
But then I'm
Bill,
hearing...
Is that Bill covered, by the way, for you?
Oh, absolutely. Okay,
boy.
Absolutely.
Big radio gets another W.
Didn't take out my wallet the whole night.
And again, the nice family on the other side of the accordion wall.
Just
out for $2.99.
Just being heckled by a bunch of idiot loud talkers.
Yep. There's 15 account executives who can't sell an ad spot on a dying medium. 10 yahoos on a syndicated radio show.
Things have changed.
Is that right?
We have a fantastic sales staff.
What do you think about?
You want to buy some advertising?
I'm thinking about buying some advertising. Oh. All those radio spots say, we can fit your budget. We're about to put that to the true litmus test.
We can't afford it.
Let me tell you about our budget, friends. What did we pull in from those Libsyn automated ads? Can you fit this budget? And we'll just show them an astronomically low number and see what they can do. And again, I don't care if it's 2:30 on the music machine, which doesn't exist anymore, in the morning. I don't care where or when it is.
Yeah.
But if you and I can get a 30-second ad spot on there, and then you get the friends and family discount, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, of course.
So 10% off the going rate for our already minuscule budget. Mm-hmm. I think we can get on the radio.
All right. Well, I'll talk to some people. I'll talk to some people tomorrow.
I'd appreciate it. Just an arbitrary 30-second clip of the podcast.
Sure.
No lead-in, no music.
Maybe this clip.
Maybe just this talking about buying a radio spot.
Okay, so I'm in the door at the Yoki joint. Mm-hmm. 5, maybe 10 minutes. Again, coat not even off yet.
Crown and Sprites in your belly? Is that what it was?
I had a couple Crown and Sprites in my belly.
Didn't go well then on the company dime?
What do you mean?
You didn't go well liquor?
Oh, no. No, of course not.
What am I? Budget cuts come February.
I'm no chump. So Trevor's already tapping me on the shoulder. He's like, "We're up, man. We're up." And I was like, What did you sign us up for? He's like, I signed us up for Santa Claus. I'm like, hell yes. So I didn't even have time for the nerves to manifest.
Right, because a lot of times, do they have a board where they say up next and two
They
up?
announce it, but the karaoke's all the way at the one end of the bar. We were back at the other end, waiting to get a drink and talking to some people. So I didn't even hear the announcement that we were up yet. And then as I'm walking up, I see the screen and it says Santa Claus is coming to town in the style of Bruce Springsteen. And I was like, yes, because obviously I don't need the lyrics.
Yeah, right. One, just the song, but two, it's a special type of importance. The Springsteen style. If you know it, you know it.
There's so much improv.
Yes.
You have to do the winds whipping down the boardwalk.
Was this at a Macy's parade or was it at...
No, I think it was in concert. I think
it was at an actual
concert sometime in the mid-70s.
And knowing the lore of Springsteen, it's like somebody had a Santa hat and there was no plan for it.
They threw it on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And him and the band riffed it together to be the most iconic version of the song ever.
Have I told you I've seen him do a live version of this?
Wasn't it in July at Wrigley Field or something?
No. When I saw him, me and Bob, my buddy Bob, probably almost 10 years ago, his wife at the time had bought him tickets to go see Springsteen, and it was a December show. I remember it was December 5th of whatever year. And so I had been looking at the set lists leading up to that.
In your mind, you're like, I'm going to hear. He's going to play. He has to play, right?
So up until that, he had not played it. And I remember we're sitting there in our seats.
Kind of a jerk move, right?
Show's going on, and somebody threw a Santa hat up on stage. Yeah. And normally you see somebody runs out, picks it up, and
security
carries it off, stagehand or whatever. But it just sat there on the stage, and he'd play a song, and then he'd kind of walk over to the hat, look down at it, They'd go into another song, and then he'd walk back past that hat. So you knew what was coming. And then at one point in between songs, he reaches down, picks up the hat, puts it on, and they played it. And it was just as good as the version that you hear on the radio every year. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this song, I am intimately familiar with it. You got to do the wind's whipping down the boardwalk.
Yes.
You guys all been practicing real hard. Clarence, you've been rehearsing real hard. Santa Claus will bring you a new saxophone.
Oh, there's so many.
Everybody been good this year?
It's the little beats.
That's not many. That's not many. And then it kicks off. And Trevor and I had not rehearsed it one bit, but immediately I felt the camaraderie on stage. We were kind of going back and forth. He's doing a line. I'm doing a line. I'm taking the low notes, and he's doing the high notes, and then we're switching, and it's like we're complimenting each other perfectly. And instantly, we won over the bar. Everybody was on board. They all knew what was going on. And a friend of ours ran up front. She's got her phone out, recording some. Do you want to see some of the performance? Because I have a video up here if you want to.
Well, I do, but I have a few questions before we play this because this is news to me.
Yeah,
this is delight that you have video and audio evidence because I love the way you described that. Mm-hmm. You're saying the bar was singing along. There's whoops and hollers and cheers and probably hands waved. Yeah. So I imagine I'm going to hear this and then see some ambiance from the side of people milling and then being like, God, they're awful loud.
I believe that you can hear sing along in the back.
Okay. What was the family dynamic leaving the Tex-Mex, headed to the Yoki? Yeah. Okay? Because I only saw a few photos from other people about this evening. Again, I don't follow you on social media.
Right. Yeah,
too many Jeeps.
Wouldn't expect it.
Was Annette and family there? Was Annette there? Did they go home?
At the Tex-Mex place, it was me and Annette. My mother-in-law was here watching the kids. This is like the first time that we've gone out without either kid, I believe, since baby Boulinois was born. I don't think we've ever been away from both of the kids.
Okay. So you're fitting to have a night out.
Yeah, we were really looking forward to it. But Annette knew that she didn't want to go out afterwards. Okay. So we had planned in advance. I was like, oh, come on, we should go out and do karaoke for a little bit. Because the thing at the Tex-Mex place was only from 6 to 8. Right. So even if we had gone out for an hour or 2 hours or something, we still would have been back relatively early. Sure. Like it wouldn't have been crazy late. But she was not. She was like, no, I'm a little too nervous. I think I want to go home and make sure because if Nicholas doesn't sleep well and my mom isn't sure what to do, blah blah blah. So I was like, all right, totally understand. So we had pre-planned this and we drove separately to the event. So we left the Tex-Mex place and walked back to the radio station where we were parked. She drove separately home, and then we went to the karaoke place. Okay. So Annette was not in attendance.
Daddy's, and now the last time this happened, you, if I remember correctly, didn't somebody call and say Steve's sleeping here?
Yes.
And then you stumbled in and had what I feel comfortable saying, what you would describe as one of your worst mornings in years.
It was not good. And I was...
Is that lingering at all for you when you're headed to the Yoki? Okay.
Yeah. This is in my mind knowing this cannot end like that. And it ultimately, spoiler alert, it did not. Because I had a few drinks at the Tex-Mex place. I got a drink at the Yoki place, but I think I drank about 3 sips of it, and we were there for a couple hours. So by the time I left, everything perfectly fine. Mm-hmm. And but man, I had a good time. You see what I'm wearing in the video, by the way? That looks good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It's
not the whole.
No. I mean, to me, it's disappointing. To everybody else, they're going to say, "Oh, look at Steve. He put on a fun sweater and whatever." But to me, I feel nothing but embarrassment because I know what could have been.
I know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't steal that thunder. So, are you ready? Do You want to hear some of this?
I am prepared. I want to hear this version, your version,
Yeah.
of Santa Claus is coming to town. Yeah, boy, I have a feeling that
In
we
the
don't
style.
understand how hot this is going to be.
I know. I'm starting it a little bit low, and I'll kind of ride the pot.
This is Steve and Trevor with Santa Claus is coming to town.
Now, this is kind of in the middle.
Right, it's not the start of the song.
No, I'm not going to play like the 7-minute rendition where I'm playing air saxophone.
Yeah, and you're playing the crowd, right? Walking to one corner, raising your hands up.
All right, so here it is. Here's just a snippet, a 52-second clip. This is a good part right here. I don't know who I'm pointing at. Like, there wasn't anyone there.
Definitely nobody paying attention. Okay.
And that's where, of course, Clarence is just
The sax solo.
bigger than life sax solo.
Now, did you air sax?
I did air sax.
Because what else are you supposed to do for that 30 to 45 seconds?
I know.
While you're staring out at a crowd?
There
a
were
small group?
There were. I mean, it was
An
it was
accidental
crowded.
gathering?
It was crowded there. It was
Okay.
crowded there that night, and oh no,
Let me tell you my observation.
oh boy, I feel like I got one coming after the.
The singing's fine. I think the singing is lovely.
Okay.
Big fan.
Can I ask you before? If you were there, if you had been there, do you think you would have been caught up in the moment and run up on stage? Or would you?
No, I would have been very upset that I wasn't invited to begin with.
Okay, but if we had unknowingly signed up the Steve, Trevor, Kyle trio.
Right. SKT, STK.
Yeah.
Any of those like white supremacist groups I don't know about that's happened before. So,
Maybe called ourselves like the F Street Band or
that's
something.
right. Yeah.
And you didn't know about it. Mm-hmm. So you're just sitting there sipping your gin and tonic. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you hear your name called. Are you coming up? Or
Yeah, I couldn't leave the world wanting at that point.
is that it? You're just too generous of a
That's
person.
Right. It would need to be something like that. It's the way I described the when I got my first tattoo. Mm-hmm. Is that I needed it to be then and now.
The moment needed to strike you just right at that point.
Because I'd never done it. And I wouldn't say I don't have stage fright.
Yeah.
I enjoy the idea of it, and but I've said it before. I just despise being the center of attention. Can't stand it. Mm-hmm. Just wish everybody would leave me alone.
Right.
I would need to be that, though, to where I'm just sitting there. Maybe we're all gathered around a table. You two know what's coming.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you two have been talking about it. I'd be like, oh, man, that'll be good. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
And then they come over the speaker or whatever and say, now we've got the F Street Band, Steve, Trevor, Kyle. And I'm sure once the defibrillator did its job.
Right. Shocked you back to life.
I'd have gotten up there and I would have loved to harmonize.
Okay.
Right?
But you're not taking lead?
Can there be a lead there?
I mean, Trevor and I were kind of handing it back and forth.
Right.
Singing the lead vocal.
Right. I have two critiques.
Okay.
Number one, and no offense, you stepped all over him on the baritone.
I did, yeah.
That was his spot.
It was.
He did it much better than you.
He did.
And that's not to say you were bad at it.
I just wasn't good. Wasn't as good.
You don't have the baritone that Trevor has.
Trevor's got a much better baritone than me. But again, we hadn't discussed it, so I wasn't positive if he was going to do it.
You can't not have it.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like leaving out the sax solo. You have to have it in there.
Right.
But yeah, so I feel like I held back a little bit because once I saw he was doing it, I feel like I kind of squelched mine a bit to kind of back it off. So I accept that criticism. Thank you.
The second is not a critique of you per se. You addressed the pointing, which I was going to bring up anyway.
Yeah, pointing
but
to...
you don't know, but you have to do something, right?
There's no one... I mean, like, I'm pointing, but I'm pointing because I see when I'm at a show and another singer is on stage, they point at people.
Right. But this goes back... I mean, what's so shocking about seeing you revert to a point, to nobody, is that you do these live things multiple times a year.
Yeah.
Crowds of varying sizes, 10, 20, a couple thousand, whatever. Do you revert to the same thing when you walk out and your the big music's playing, there's a video in the background? Are you walking on stage and you're not overcome by nerves, but you're also like, what do? I just have my hands. Do you revert to pointing then?
Probably.
Can you bring it back if you don't?
Do you want me to bring back the point?
I think you need to bring back the point. And I'm not talking...
Do you think like the...
2022, let's not do that.
No
finger guns.
No finger. Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace to people who passed by finger guns. I'd like to see you bring back the point. Make that your thing at the live gigs, right?
Okay, so
people like, I want the Steve point. Maybe we can take volunteers like, hey, I'll be wearing a...
Or they hold up the sign just with an arrow pointing down.
And then that you get... I'm not saying double point. That's a bit much, right? Like the double point's aggressive.
It is a little bit.
I think you're using... Yes.
I can do... Okay.
If you're using two fingers for the point, you're going multiple directions.
Oh, I can have multiple points.
Because if you... But So there's a difference. The two finger, that's too aggressive.
It is. That's a security, get this guy out of here.
Yes. But one feels like...
And it's got to kind of have a wag, though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's got the wag.
Because you're walking... Maybe... Hear me out here. Okay. Compromise. The one finger wag at the candidate who wants to be pointed at mixed with the wave.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Because again, then what do you do over here? If we've settled on a one finger wave.
I usually have a drink in the other hand if it's the night show.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about the awkwardness of the other hand. Mm-mm. Unless you want to whip drinks into the crowd.
Venues love that.
And this would be the same venue that would not allow our good friend Timmy to bring in a poster. Yeah. So I'm sure they'll be okay.
Yeah.
With a open drink being whipped into the mezzanine.
Well, I'm happy. Venue. I'm happy that your review of
we're not done.
Okay. I was going to say I was happy your review is fairly positive. You said you had 2 points to make. You made both points.
But the second point I made was more of an agreement of a point you already made, so it doesn't really count.
Okay.
And we're actually up to 3.
Okay.
So number 2. I know you didn't have any prep. You didn't have any time. Expecting a little more harmony. Didn't feel like you guys were fully in sync with each other.
Okay.
I don't know who wanted to take center stage and who wanted to be
we haven't discussed who's the lead and who's who is Bruce and who's Steven Van Zandt.
Right. Right. And if you're Steven, you're one bandana short of being cool enough to do it. Okay.
Okay.
And finally, number 3. Lesser critique on you.
Felt like that was 3.
No, that was 2 because the original 2 was replaced because you had already said it. So it was more of an agreement with your number 1. So ergo, this is now number 3.
Okay. Interesting numbering system you have there. But hey, it's right up there with Rolling Centuries.
Less an indictment on you.
Mm-hmm. You keep saying that.
But I think this has distorted history written all over it.
Distorted history?
I didn't hear... Not only did I not hear crowd sing-along, I didn't even hear remote crowd attention to what you guys were doing. The only ambient noise I hear there is milling about 20 to 30 feet away. Go to the middle of that clip for me. Just anywhere.
No, we're going from the beginning.
Good.
There are clearly people singing along.
That's people talking. I just heard an order for the nachos. Okay, if you can't hear the order for the late night nachos,
we're gonna have to listen to this in its entirety.
Nachos, right there. Can you pause? I'm willing to apologize for one thing.
Oh, boy.
Your voice isn't as as I thought. You sound pretty good there. If you go back 5 seconds there,
Okay.
I think it was the second Santa Claus where you really dig deep into the gravel.
You know, let's just do it from the top.
Oh, do we have to? That's okay. That one.
Hey.
Okay. Right in his face, unnecessary.
That was... Oh, I jumped all over him. My better be good for goodness sake was
Fantastic.
great because I
And
had
he-
the angry fist in the air and he backed off.
Yeah, he knew what was going on.
I should have known.
What he was doing was waiting. He was preparing his innards
No.
for the baritone he wanted to provide to
I
the
know.
performance.
I know.
And I could see you. Look, that screen grab right there
I know.
needs to be posted because you're digging.
I'm trying too hard.
You're digging as deep down in that region to get the baritone. You're looking for those what we call the morning grumbles, right? Yeah, to where we wake up some like whatever it is. Call it one recording every 6 weeks. We go, hey, I sound really good this morning.
Sounded really good.
You couldn't pull it there. You tried,
I
but you
tried
just
so
couldn't
hard.
pull it right
I
there.
try A for effort at least.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So the good.
He knows if you're living in bad or good, you better be good for goodness sake.
So good.
That's so good. So the good. The finger in the air right there. And the second Santa Claus is coming to town from you.
Okay. Maybe we should just listen to it in its entirety
God, do
again.
we have to?
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming.
Chills. It's all downhill from there, but
He sees you when you're sleeping.
I even did the finger wag.
He knows when you're awake. He knows if you're living in bad or good, you better be good for goodness sake.
Shut up, Steve. See, that got a pop.
do you think Shike has enough intellect to be able to get your voice out of that part?
It's just like two knobs, right?
I-
You got to turn down the music and turn down Trevor.
You would think it's like one toggle and a button push.
All right, Shike, you really want to impress us this holiday season.
Just tell us what you do. Just
Show us. Take this audio. I'll send you the audio.
Yeah.
Do something with it.
For the love of God, just help us figure out what it is you do that you invoice these music companies for.
All right, we got to finish this clip. Do you want to start it from the beginning?
Oof, boy, I can't think of anything I want less.
All right, we got a little buzzing going on. Not sure what Dan. Maybe you can take care of that in post. All right, well, that's over.
So the good. The finger point and the second Santa Claus is coming to town.
Can you tell that I've sung the song a time or two?
Oh, listen, this is Christmas song car sing-along number 1.
I got a proposition
Okay?
for you.
Yeah.
We are still 2 weeks. 2 weeks from the sacred day. Mm-hmm. Do you want to hit up a Yogi bar and do this?
Just the one song. So,
We
in and
could-
out, right?
We could. I mean, I know it's way last minute, but do you think we could throw together a podcast meetup
At a Yoki bar?
at a Yogi bar?
That'd be tough. It's a tight turnaround.
Put
But
it
I
on-
don't know.
Put it on the poll.
I'll just put podcast meetup at a Yoki bar ?
Pre-holiday.
Okay.
Is it too late for a podcast meetup at a Yoki bar? I mean, I think we'd get maybe.
We get the same amount of people as if we planned it for 6 months.
Well, yeah, we'd get 4. Mm-hmm. Me and you being 1 and 2.
Because Lord knows, Annette's not coming.
No chance.
Katie's not coming.
No chance.
So we're looking at Timmy. And then maybe Chris Pruitt will drive like 16 hours after working a 20-hour shift.
I bet Tony would be there. Tony and Lansing.
Tony Lansing would probably be there. I don't see Tony being a singer. You think so? Tony would sing?
Absolutely, Tony would sing.
Okay.
Tony sings all the time.
So if we do this, though, it needs to be 2 songs. After all the years, we cannot go to a Yoki bar and not do the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Apologies to Robert.
Oh, he's missing the good stuff.
So we're doing, okay.
We can't not do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that has been our signature for years now as we memorialize those 28 souls lost plus the one jerk who ate all the food.
Yeah. One cook with a full belly.
Yep. 28 people just not gasping for air, gasping for food.
They drowned from
hunger.
Lack of food. Yeah.
So we would have to do 2 songs.
So here's what we got to do, too. We got to bring some equipment along with us so we can record it. Do you think we can get like a master out from the mixer to plug in so we can get the raw feed?
Boy, we thought the audio was going to be bad at the parade. A busy karaoke bar.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want the natural sound. I want the audio.
Okay.
I want the audio right off the board.
Yeah, plug in. What are they going to do?
I'll just bring this mixer. Ask if we can run some Y cables.
We're only going to sing 1 song, and it's already very long and a big downer. But we also need a second song slot so we can hook up our equipment for this. So we're going to need 2 songs space for 1 song that nobody wants to hear in a public forum.
Oh, I disagree. I think everyone would love it.
But then we have to close the night with
Santa
Claus Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen. Unless, imagine the embarrassment if another group of people, not from us, does it like 3 songs before.
And really well.
And then we stick to our guns. Mm-hmm. We have to still do it.
I'm up for this if the interest is there.
Well, we've been planning...
We could do it next weekend.
A streamathon for a year. And that only requires us to meet here.
Well, this will be in lieu of that. Because I feel like the streamathon is more of a...
Right.
We had planned that as an outdoor thing.
Right. Or a multiple place thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I will.
I'm up for something on Friday the 16th or Saturday the 17th. I feel like that might have been the sound of all interest leaving your body.
It's a TBD.
What do you got?
Don't you think it's as valuable as if we sang this in like March?
Negative.
Huh.
All right. Well, that's to be determined. We will discuss that off the air.
Huh.
Will we discuss
It's not a bad idea.
Oh, boy.
I think the best way for me to describe it is it's just an idea I'm not interested in.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. This is the podcast where ideas go to die.
I'll be there as much as you're going to be there for my stand-up set.
I'd be willing to negotiate.
Whew, boy, that's...
If that's what it takes. If that's what it takes to get you on stage for Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I mean, I'll rehearse it with you here.
Oh, I'm not worried about that part. Because once you've had...
I am.
Do you got a Yoki version of it? Maybe that's how we end the podcast today. Maybe we give it our best.
Well, we know that there is one out there.
Right. And that was a QR code, which again threw young man Steve all the way off his rocker. Not used to not having to go handwrite his song selection on a list.
I know, on a little tiny slip of paper. All right. Our friends at Carafun, they have it.
This is a license-free, all that fun. Does Kevin MacLeod have a version? Steve, while you pull that up, one final reminder. If you are part of the Winter Solstice Gift Exchange, I know you mentioned it earlier. Don't want people to forget, though. If you are a part of it, you should have your name of the recipient, of the person you should be sending a gift to. In your social media inbox, wherever you send us a message, should be there. If you haven't read that, haven't followed up, please do that immediately. Make sure you have a gift in the mail so they can receive that before the solstice on the 22nd. Hashtag garbage gifts on any social media you prefer. You also don't have to, but we just love seeing them.
Sure.
Love seeing those gifts roll in again. Be sure to get those gifts out so we don't have any super late arrivals that we then feel bad for and responsible for a ruined solstice season.
All right, so are we doing this then?
Let's do it.
Are we doing, now this is a Santa Claus is Coming to Town in the style of Bruce Springsteen, done by Haven Gillespie and Fred J. Coots, of course, from that fame.
We will talk to everybody next week for the staff gift exchange here on the Steve and Kyle podcast.
You ready for this? I'm going to back our mics off a bit.
Yeah, you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. The computer just died. The computer just died. The computer just died.
It's just the most perfect way for this podcast to head into the solstice season.
I couldn't even be more perfect.
Happy solstice, everybody.